Hi there, it's seemownay. I would like to share a flip through of the weekly journal that I kept in a weekly vertical insert from Traveler's Company. This past year, I did already fill one set of those in 2018 and 2021. I was really strong in this in the first half of 2018, and then I fizzled out in October of 2018. And last year in October, I just so happened that I felt the urge and need to go back and try this. And so I pulled out this old insert, redated the months, and have been journaling in this format since. So I already shared a flip through of all of those. I will link them in the description box below. Maybe I'll just make a playlist for all of those. And I've shared how I filled this, how it progressed throughout the months. And now I would like to share a completed flip through of this, share what worked and what didn't, share my struggles and how I'm currently using Ephemera in here. I purchased this hotel limited edition in the end of August at the San Francisco Pen Show, and I have been using this cover since then. The one that I kept it in before I actually sold, so I'm just gonna show you how I have set it up right now, which is exactly the way this was in there as well. So I have added some things in December. This was included in a Happy Mail from a friend, so I put it right here. If you're curious why I put it right there, I didn't really like, so the design of this top half is curved. It's like sharing a circle element right here. It makes you want to think about a circle, and I didn't feel like I wanted to attach this to an edge where it was so center focused. But this Traveler's Company line kind of goes over to here, and exactly at the meeting point where the edge meets with this vertical line, horizontal line right here. This is where I placed it. I think that's a great place to ground this element, and I really like it at this place. Yeah, that's the design, that's the thoughts that go through my head when I'm putting stuff on here. This is the B-sides and rarities, I don't even know what it's called, insert, wallet insert maybe. I keep sticker books that I made myself and received from a friend in here, and I also keep embellishments and things that I would like to put on my pages in there. I also have some in the back right here. Let me show them to you. These. And this is basically what I want to use in the first 2 weeks of January. And when I'm done with these 2 pages, then I will go through all of that, take out everything that I'm sure I'm not going to use anymore. We'll put those in my Happy Mail pile, and then some of the items I use to decorate paper to send Happy Mail. Some of them I just tuck into Happy Mail, and then others I put back into my stash. And then on that string sits my Traveler's Notebook insert like this. I do have the Coffee and Notebooks pencil board here. I really enjoy using this, especially when I need a flat surface where I can stamp on, or when there is bulky elements here. I like to add it here so that I can have an easier way of writing. I did receive this pen clip for Christmas, but I like it because I can keep the pen that I use for journaling in here, but for some reason it feels like it's super flimsy and I don't really know how to make it stick on better. Every time I remove my pen, I need to hold it so that I don't accidentally, like, see when I put it in and push down, so that I don't accidentally rip off the whole thing. If you have any suggestions on what I can do to do that, I'd love to hear them. But this is where I keep the pen that I used to journal. This is also an edition that I added in December. And to my surprise, which I know you shouldn't buy something with the expectations that it's not going to work, this pen is amazing. I had heard many reviews on this pen and unhappy voices, but I am not one of those people who will say that they're unhappy with this pen. It's super nice. I specifically wanted a pen that is a pocket pen where the cap posts, because when I'm journaling on the couch, I am not losing the cap. And to my surprise, you can see how thin the section is. Since I'm not holding it all the way down here, and since I'm also not writing pages and pages and pages of journaling, this section works really well for me. This was another thing that I was afraid of, that it was too thin and I would have really bad cramps or hand fatigue very easily, but this hasn't happened yet. I haven't used it to write long pages. You will see how much I usually write in here, so it's not a lot, and for that it works really great. Now, let's go into the flip through, and I'll talk about this as well. I'll put it to the side so I don't forget. I just love decorating the front and back of my notebook. This, now that I'm looking at it again, I'm not really happy with the way that this turned out. It's okay. I can try my hand at decorating the back of another. This one I didn't even decorate. This one I haven't decorated yet. Maybe I'm not going to decorate it. I don't know. But it's done and it's okay. Here I just used the name tag that I had on a shirt for an event. One of the Travelers Company stickers that came with the inserts. Then this California Poppy, and then this, I really like this epoxy sticker that is raised a little. Yeah, and then I added this clip and I decided to just leave it on here. On the inside, I have put this clear sticker that I printed out. It's my own art. I never use these monthly overviews here, and I'm not sad that I didn't. I was trying to backfill this. Sometimes it's really rough for me to decide what to do with the last weekly spreads that are doubled. So I documented the 27th to the 30th in here, and I meant to document the 1st to the 3rd in here, but I had no idea what exactly I did. And so I decided, well, okay, then it's just not going to happen. I'm just going to flip through and hopefully I'll be able to talk you through some of the ideas that I had behind. I really enjoy, as you can clearly see, full pages. I'm just trying different things. I wanted to draw more, so I did that here and here. More junk journal-y style. This pen is already not in my collection anymore. And then I segmented it off a bit another sketch that I tried here. I did not like how the fountain pen behaved on here. And I wrote with my different fountain pens in here. And this, sometimes it's really weird for me, at least. When things like this happen, I'm very easily like ready to just chuck it at the wall and say, okay, well, if you don't behave, then just deal with it. And I'm not going to come back. I'm mad at the notebook. And I didn't really want to be that way. And so I decided to just pursue and pull through. I made this. I think it's a free printable. I have it on Ko-fi. And then, so I'm just trying different things. Whatever, often the layout is dictated by the elements that I have reserved. And at some point, not this early, I actually decided to put together little kits for myself. So I have these sticky, from the Sticky Club, this is what their kits come in. I have some of those. And what I do is I keep, now I'm going to pull out this as well. This was originally my sticker ephemera storage, where I would keep seasonal items especially. And then at some point I had so much stuff that I hadn't used in a long time, so I just distributed it into these compartments so that I made sure that every month I would pull out the whole thing and then work with it. Do I still have things in here? Let's check February. Yes. So I actually do still have items in here that I haven't used, maybe didn't get to. And so I still use lots of Happy Mail. And all of those items are a lot. And they overwhelm me really easily. And so instead of pulling out a whole stack of things or grabbing all of my sticker books and all the places where I keep my ephemera, I decided to curate weekly kits to, okay, I received this in my extravagant hope kit. I want to use it the next time in my weekly journal. So I put this in here, I put this in here, and these items I would love to use on my spread. So that's how this dictates the design, because maybe these banners, for instance, they span over 2 of the columns or even 3. So maybe I'm not going to do a very vertical one. Maybe it's going to be something like more like this. So that's how the ephemera and embellishments dictate how I'm journaling, and also, of course, my mood. Here I was away, and when I came back, I was really good at journaling here, but I just wasn't good at keeping up the journaling. So I decided to just put down all the things that I did, put a quote, call it done. Then this was a little bit more involved again. I added some of my own art here, made some of these cool boxes here. I really love making these zebra boxes. You will find them more in here. I'm just using this space as I see fit. Some of these don't turn out the way I like, or that I would love them to turn out, and that's okay. I wasn't able to finish this week, and I also wasn't really inspired. So I just decided, oh, you know what? I'm just going to put a quote here and call it done. This one was super cool. That was the week of the pen show. I just tipped in something. I put this note card on the back of this of my entrant ticket. Added some texture right here. Then I tried to use the art that I made in my journal. So this and this and this are printables that I had on my site. This is an element that I included in my Happy Mail. So I'm trying to incorporate those things. There is a tip in right here. Love making these embellishment clusters. And this is basically where I started to, or decided that I want to have these curated weekly kits, just a really small assortment of things that I challenge myself to put on the page and create a spread. And I really love how this turned out. I had some gaps in here, and I think I talked about those in various different places, maybe Instagram and also in my last flip. That's why the last flip is such a long time ago, because some of these spreads were blank. I realized that it's really hard to go back and fill in empty spaces. So I need to, if I notice that I can't dedicate as much time to this week as I had hoped, maybe just slap on bigger ephemera or write bigger titles, add a quote somewhere. This one I really, really love. This is one of my favorite spreads of this journal for sure. And these two I just filled in at the end of December. These were both, I had a really hard time catching up from July. And so I was always kind of far behind, not far behind. Ko-fi was too much, which I then stopped. But this is reflected in here. This was the last week of September, where I think that was the last month where I sent out Happy Mail and made printables. So I was so involved in that I didn't have time to journal. And so instead of beating myself up about it, I was actually making peace with the fact that these would be blank. But I had sticky notes there, and so I decided to just play and see what would happen. This is weird, but okay, it worked. This one I actually like a lot better. I had this in my stash for at least 5 years. I wanted to use it in December. It's kind of December themed. But I decided, you know what? If I have this in my journal right here, I will be a lot happier than keeping it for another year and trying to use it at a different place. So I just put this here. I added some writing for what I did that week, and then done. So I struggled here to fill the pages in these creative ways. And I decided after these 2 empty weeks to go in with a different mindset. I am not going to document the whole week. I am not going to fill this page. I am just going to take one highlight of each day and then put it on the paper. And this is what I did that week. It worked out really well. Again, I just put down some watercolor blobs that I then used to capture those highlights, added some more embellishments, and done. And then I was super happy with how this worked out. I wanted to do the same thing the next week. Sadly, that didn't happen. So this is the empty page in my journal. Well, empty. I have documents here. I made a currently inked video and I received Happy Mail, and this is perfectly placed right here. Deep breath. You made the right choice to keep this page empty, as a reminder that it's totally okay. And then I went back, and I have been able to keep up with this pretty well since then. You can see that I started using a fountain pen pretty early on. Well, these I just added, but there's fountain pen right here. I used fountain pen right here. Not here, but I used fountain pen here, and I used fountain pen here. So I think in that time I purchased platinum carbon black ink. I inked up my TWSBI Eco with an extra fine nib, and this works really well on that paper. It's not bleeding through, it dries really fast, it has a nice line width. I can write in reverse even, and even finer lines. This is my journaling pen right now. The nib is a lot stiffer than the nib here. This is very bouncy, and I'm still trying to get used to the Travelers Company brass pen, and that's why I think my handwriting isn't as even as it is with the Eco. So I'm struggling with that for a bit, but I'm really loving using the carbon black in a fountain pen for my black journaling pen. So this was one of those weekly kits. Then I had these items in my weekly kit, and the spread turned out completely different. And that's something that I totally enjoy, just having the challenge to make these work in a way that I'm happy with it. And then for Halloween, I had so much stuff from previous years, so I filled it all the way. I love how I made those spiders as bullet points. I drew them. I love them. And then I had these rub-ons. I probably had them for 2 years now, so it was time to use them. What better time to use them than the fall? Then I put this here. I am subscribed to the Extravagant Hope kits, and I love hoarding them. And so instead, I also made the decision that every time that I receive the Happy Mail, I need to use something from that stuff. And so that's why you see this all through here. I'm adding the cards that Brandy includes in the Happy Mail as well. So these are pieces that I need to work around and design around, which again is a challenge. And here is my, whatever you call this, speech bubble here. Then I had these stickers that I wanted to use, so I had the idea to make like a falling leaf scheme. So I used a different fountain pen for titles, added this thing, of course I smudged it, and then added these stickers from Linus Pots that I also had since probably 2017 maybe. And then yeah, love. I really enjoy this challenge that I pose myself. Again, different spread because circles right here, speech bubble right here. So trying to work all of those into my journal. The sticker sheet came in a sticky kit, or I even purchased it on their site. I never used it, so I tried to incorporate that here. Again, more Extravagant Hope, as you can see. Then Christmas or December, I also have so much Christmas stuff, and I made it a point in using as much as I can, which I still have a lot, but I used this washi that I received from a friend. I received this in Happy Mail from Sissy's Art Cafe, I think in 2020. It's 2022, and I finally used them. This was on my advent calendar, chocolate. Then I used those stickers from, again, Brandy Kincaid. I used these Christmas baubles from Once More with Love and tried to put them, ground them somewhere so they hang. Loved that. I really want to do more of that lettering. I really like that too. This week, I was trying to use up the these stickers from Audrey Okea, but then I also had that washi tape here. And for some reason, it just didn't work out. I was hoping to do a weekly vertical spread, and yeah, it's done, but it's definitely not my favorite. Then there's one more of those. And here I had lots of Christmas stamps, and I created this cluster, and then I looked at it and was like, oh wow, I don't like this. This is so blocky. How can I move on from here? And then I also had these rub-ons that I actually wanted to use even more than this. And I had created all of this here, dominating the whole spread. But then I loved adding these on top of things, like here, they're standing on here. This sled is on here. These people walk on my YouTube button. There's a cat, a dog in the cup. This person is here leaning or holding on to the E. And so I didn't like it in the beginning, and then by adding these whimsical touches, I was so happy with how it turned out. So that was the almost last week. This was the last week in December. Again, it's not the full week, and I really wanted to include this print, so I cut it down, put it here, and tried to incorporate some of the colors over here. This again, here you can see how uneven my writing is, so I'm still practicing with this fountain pen, but I tried it. Again, it's not necessarily my favorite, but it's done, and that's all that counts. And that's all of the spreads that I made in this journal. I'm so happy and excited to move into 2023. I can show you how I decorated the front here. I really like the composition of this one. Love this. I added a New Year's resolution right here. I have scanned this in, and there is a free printable on my Ko-fi as well if you want that. I put in a Techo Kaigi. I started my first week, and then I haven't documented the second week yet. So I'm already behind again. So I'm really trying, after filming this, I'm trying to dig in and journal and catch up on that. But that's how this is going. I hope this is continuing as successfully as it did last year. Here are, this is the wrong way, so I'm trying to get this on the right way. This is how I have, what I have on my elastic at the moment. This usually goes down here, but I really like it on the elastic, and then I just received this as a gift and decided to add it on here. And instead of adding a jump ring like this or something, I just tied a bow, and I'll see how that holds up. But for now, I really like how that looks. Kind of girly, which I'm not. But sometimes I really do enjoy these little girly moments. Yes, if you enjoy my content, I would really love for you to subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Are you continuing with the same journals as you did last year? Are you changing it up? How are you enjoying your journaling progression so far? Is it the right thing? How long are you going to wait until you decide if it is the right fit, or if you want to go back to something that you did before? I think that are all the questions that I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you muchly. See you soon. Bye.